Today we were talking to Jen, who was completely overwhelmed, wanted to make and stay home with her kids. She was hoping that maybe that could be a choice for her. So let's just talk real briefly. So I know that some moms, they struggle with going to work. I know you did personally. You wanted to be home with your kids. You didn't like leaving them. You felt guilty. Mom guilt is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point you realized, I think I want to stay home with the kids and try to help other moms. And tell us about that journey.
When my son, he's my youngest, was before he got sick even, I had this desire, right? I had dabbled in network marketing for a lot of years, like starting in my undergraduate studies, like when I was in nursing school. I was introduced to this industry and I was like, oh my gosh, this could be a way. And I never ever thought of not nursing. I just thought this could be a way to supplement some income so I could work part-time or work casually and not have to depend on a full-time wage so that I could have more flexibility when I became a mom, because I wasn't a mom when I was first introduced. So I, had a journey through this industry with different companies and, a little bit of success here and there. From the time my son was very little, there was one affirmation that I wrote in my journal every day, and that was, I will be a stay-at-home working mom when Liam is in kindergarten, right? That was like something that I wrote, like when my son hits kindergarten, I just put that out, right? Put that out that like I would be home full-time working. And I didn't really even believe it. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I kind of had set that intention. And then the mental wellness company came into my life, and through my own previous experience, I knew that this was going to be my vehicle. They weren't in Canada yet, and I was Canadian, so I had to wait for that. But here's an interesting thing, Dale, is that, so I started back on the products when they hit Canada. Like the more that these products worked to heal, like recover and balance my imbalances in my body, the more clarity I got. And I really started to recognize just how dysfunctional and harming the work environment that I was in was for me and my family. That was hard though, because I was an OR nurse for 12 years. I was really good at my job. It was such a part of who I was. Like it was such a huge piece of my identity. So for me to come to this fork in the road where I truly, a light was shining on how detrimental continuing to go to work was for my mental health, that was really hard.
Well, your perspective of the whole thing changed when you had children.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And so I had to work through that. But luckily, because of the mentorship that I have, right, our team systems, really teaching how to build an online business while working full time, right? And while being busy with kids, I was able to leave my traditional nursing job and go full time into my mental wellness business. And I made that decision like 3 years ago in July. And I left a week before my son started kindergarten.
Wow. Oh boy, talk about putting it out in the universe.
Right?
So I love it. And do you see, you're a young mom, I'm an old mom and a grandma, but I love, because of my background, because I was a doula, I was a childbirth educator, I was like all in, I still am. Just moms and kids are just who I am. Like that's who I am. Mm-hmm. And I just see so many moms just struggling. It's just so hard for so many moms that are working full time and, just crashing and burning. Like it's just burning the candle at both ends. So do you see that like with the moms that you are also working with, like, do they seem like they want to also come home? Like, because I just think life is so much less chaotic when mom is working from home.
Well, it definitely creates a whole new world that you almost can't even imagine when you're in the thick of working full time and running with your kids. And it's hard to even imagine it being a possibility. But absolutely. What I find is though, until you can create that safety within yourself and turn the volume down, that's when you can actually start to see a little bit more clearly, like the possibilities in life. Because when you're scrambling every day and you're in this heightened state and you're just surviving, it is absolutely unimaginable to be able to think that one day you could leave your job and be home all the time. And I respect that because I was there, right? So first we need to work on ourselves, right? And we need to implement these tools and these strategies because it really also intertwines with the level of self-confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you're never going to believe that you can be successful in something new that you've never done before. So I don't know if that answers your question, but what I see is most people don't believe that they can be successful in online business when they're struggling and suffering like they are.
Yeah. I mean, step one is definitely to get your health and your mental well-being back in check. Slow down, clear the brain fog, decrease the cortisol, become more steady, right? And you do that through targeted strains that we have called Happy Juice, which sounds crazy, but it really does cover so many of the bases, but mostly just helping moms to really be calm, feel more balanced overall.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and being with me here today. It was so much fun.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. I will see you again. Keep doing your work. Keep shouting from the mountaintops. That's what we got to do.